to the very first episode of SLTU Dialogue. I am your host, Alice Mida. First, in tonight's broadcast, Teachers Week begins on September 30th and ends on October 7th. The theme for this year's Teachers Week is "The right to education means the right to a qualified teacher." Teachers Week begins with an ecumenical service which will be held on September 30th at the Finance Administrative Center in Point Seraphine from 10 a.m. The week will end with a teachers' rally on October 7th at the Mont Kobaril Estate in Soufrière from 10 a.m. An invitation has been extended to all members of the St. Lucia Teachers Union. Did you know that the idea of forming the St. Lucia Teachers Union came about in 1901? After much discussion, the St. Lucia Teachers Association was formed in 1917. The association was headed by head teachers and assistant teachers from elementary schools. In July of 1934, a circular was sent out to all schools on the island summoning teachers to a meeting for the inauguration of a teachers' union. Teachers were assured that the new union would represent the interest of all teachers regardless of religious affiliations. The St. Lucia Teachers Union and the St. Lucia Teachers Association coexisted for 47 years before the Teachers Association was dissolved in 1981. We will be right back after this short break.
At the St. Lucia Teachers Credit Cooperative, we know you're busy and we're always looking for innovative tools to enhance your banking experience. So we're introducing online banking, a service that goes with you wherever you are, and it's absolutely free. All you need is a cell phone or laptop. No more waiting on long lines to check your account balance or to update passbooks. With online banking, it's quick and easy. Just fill out a form, get your username and password, and access your account right away. With online banking, you can check your account balance, transfer funds, view and download your account history, create alerts for your account with emailed reports. One convenient service. Online banking with the St. Lucia Teachers Credit Cooperative, an educated choice.
Thank you for staying tuned to SLTU Dialogue. We have with us this evening two wonderful guests. So we have Dr. Virginia Poyot, who was a past president of SLTU, and our current president, Mr. Julian Monrose. Welcome to the very first episode of SLTU Dialogue.
Thank you. Thank you very much and good evening.
There's no better way to start than with our two stalwarts. SLTU has been in existence for about 84 years.
Wow.
Yes. So, Dr. Poyot, I know you were the president for a very long time and you have served the SLTU in every capacity except, if I remember correctly, GS. What encouraged you or what pushed you to be involved in the movement of teachers?
Well, what drove me is from early childhood and even my reading, I saw the need to fight for social justice. And at the time, when I look at the conditions of teachers, the salaries, the working conditions, I felt if we work together, we could improve the lot of teachers. And as a result, I became a member of the Teachers Union. And it was not easy, but we were able to start the struggle and start looking for ways to improve the quality of the conditions in which teachers work and their salaries. I mean, I started as a teacher getting $75, so I don't know what that can do today.
Okay, I know we have not had many women presidents. I think you're the third woman president that we've had. What was it like then? I know it may have been very difficult as a woman to say, I am going up for president. What was it like at the time? The challenges that you faced to be accepted as a woman president, that is.
Well, they said a woman has to do 5 times what a man does in order to equal the man. I don't know if I had to do it 5 times, but in terms of my output and my contribution, I was able to work together, although they said women, but it was not just about women because it was mostly the men that dominated the leadership of the organization. but at least I was able to gain their respect.
Okay.
And I worked with them. And I felt it was necessary that I try to be president of the union, at least to set the pace for other women.
For other women.
Yes.
And now we have a man as the president. So, Mr. Monrose, what pushed you, what encouraged you to be involved, to become involved in the SLTU, and not just involved, to become the president? And you have been the president for at least a long time.
Yes,
So you're the longest serving president. So what encouraged you to become part of this movement?
Like Virginia, somewhere, somehow, I always had this passion for things that relate to people. I think what also contributed to that in part was my history. I love history. And at school, history was one of my best subjects. And so you learned about the things that people went through in slavery, etc. And that motivated me. So I was always interested in things that deal with people. Okay. When I became a teacher, I happened to have joined the staff where everybody was a member of the union. So within the first week of joining the staff, I was given my application form. So when I got my first salary, my dues were already deducted, and I immediately got involved in the work of the union as a floor member, being involved in my branch, serving on the branch executive. And when the time came, and it wasn't a decision I made. Some people suggested that the time had come for me to be part of the leadership of the union. Dr. Poyat was one of them who encouraged me and felt the time had come, and I felt it was my union. I needed to give it time and to serve. And so
Here you are.
I got into it, and here I am, the longest serving president. And it's the organization that I've been involved in that I love the best.
Okay, very good, Mr. Monrose. You spoke about history. Now, we know if a union has been existing for 84 years, that there is a lot of history. And I know that this history is filled with a lot of struggles. Can you share with us some of the struggles that SLTU has been through?
Well, first let me indicate that when the St. Lucia Teachers Union started, it was the St. Lucia Teachers Association, and that was way back in about 1918, strengthened in about 1923. But we became registered in 1934 as a trade union.
Okay.
So we move away in that time just from dealing with professional matters to dealing with matters of working conditions. And it has always been, the struggle with education to create good working environment for teachers and for students. In fact, most of the work that we do as a union, people would think it's for the members. But what we're trying to do is to change the environment in which education takes place. This is why some time ago we celebrated under the theme, our Teachers Week under the theme, the teachers' working conditions are children's learning conditions. So we've struggled to improve the quality of education. And today, we're still not satisfied with where we've gone. But I think, apart from people probably hear us a little more when it comes to working conditions and salaries, but it is a daily struggle to improve the quality of education in St. Lucia.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Monrose. Dr. Poyat, can you share some of the struggles that you encountered during your presidency?
Well, I just calculated I have been a member of the Teachers Union for 47 years now.
Oh, that was way before I was born,
And it is
Dr.
more than
Poyat.
half the lifetime of the organization. So that tells you I've been around for some time. And I was very much involved in the very first historic struggle that the Teachers Union had in 1979, where we went on strike for 59 days. And we marched not too far from this location into Castries, and we drank soft drinks and ate dry biscuits, and we got tear gas, and we walked in the rain, and we were just fighting for better working conditions for teachers. And I felt very good to know that we prevailed. We were very successful in that struggle, and that actually was the turning point for the Teachers Union. At this point, it became a union in that we revised our constitution, we got a new constitution, and we started bargaining as an organization, a trade union, where we engage in collective bargaining. And the union has taken flight since then.
So we know we cannot speak about struggles if we don't speak about successes and achievements. You were president for a very long time. What was your biggest achievement?
My biggest achievement during my tenure as president was the fact that I was able to get what we call the Sheffield program. It was a distance learning program. And we had many teachers who did not have a degree. And they were actually craving. I mean, they do not have the funding to go to university full time and to sit in a university and pay thousands of dollars for them to get a degree. And these teachers were able to move up to their masters, some of them move up to their doctorate. And that we had over 100 of teachers who participated in that program. And today I see these teachers, they are principals, they are education officers, and that actually helped them move up the ladder in the teaching service. So I consider that to be one of my biggest achievements during my time as president. And we also participated in some good negotiations to improve salaries for teachers. I felt very good about that. And I recall one of the issues that I tackled, which was a bit sensational, was the union had one single transport, a van. And as president, I said this van should be sold. And it was a war among my officers. And eventually they saw the wisdom in selling that single transport, because we felt that it was actually draining the resources of the union.
Okay.
And we did not have enough persons. One transport can only go one place at one time. But if you take that funding and you share it among 10 officers, they can be in 10 places at one time.
Thank you, Dr. Poyot. We are indeed appreciative of your hard work. Mr. Monroe, what has been your biggest
It's in two parts. When I became president, teachers were not given annual leave, annual vacation like all other workers. We were told that children were on vacation and not teachers. So the ministry can call you at any time. You had to report. So one of the things we're able to negotiate is to ensure that during the summer, our teachers got the 6 weeks of vacation.
And I'm sure every teacher is happy about that,
Yes,
Mr. Monroe.
but having achieved that, our female teachers who happen to give birth between July and August were not given their annual leave, because that formed part of the maternity leave. And for me, that one was a serious discrimination against our female teachers. And we struggled. At the time, it was very unfortunate that the people who were fighting the union in the ministry were women. I never understood that, because I would think that women would understand that need. But we were able to fight, we were able to struggle. So now, if a teacher gives birth during that period, the teacher gets the annual leave and the maternity leave.
So they still get their 6 weeks vacation.
Right, yes.
Okay, great.
And so for me, that was a big thing, because it was discriminatory.
Mr. Monroe, as the current president, you've been president for how many years, if you remember?
12 years now.
12 years. Where do you see the SLTU going?
My hope is that the St. Lucia Teachers Union will continue to grow in strength. At this point, we have just about 90 or so % of the teachers who are actual members. We need to be able to continue to work to ensure that every teacher is mobilized to be a member of the Teachers Union. Internally, we're strengthening the union. We're about to adopt our operations manual, a 5-year strategic plan, all of these that will create a basis for the union to continue to grow. We must continue to be a voice in issues of national development, not only in education, but to speak out on issues that pertain to the country and its development. So we must be a strong civil society organization in St. Lucia.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Monroe. What about you, Dr. Poyot? I know you're no longer on the executive of the SLTU, But can you share with us where you think, what direction you see the SLTU heading, and what you think of what is happening now with what Mr. Monroe spoke about, operations manual, strategic plans, and all of the big plans that we have for SLTU?
Okay, I know organizations evolve over time. No organization is static. It continues to grow. And I think I've graduated. Mr. Monroe has given me a new status. And now I'm a consultant to the St. Lucia Teachers Union. And I believe that there are quite a few things that I can do to continue to help and support the leadership and the direction of the union. And I just want to mention that within the Teachers Union, I grew through the ranks. Academically, professionally, and in the trade union movement, because I was regional coordinator for an international teachers organization that represented 30 million teachers worldwide.
Oh.
And I was coordinating training and activities for all the teachers unions in the Caribbean. And I actually trotted the globe. So with that kind of experience, Mr. Monroe's agreed that we cannot lose that. You need to come back and build. And I have continued, and I was instrumental in assisting in developing the strategic plan, job evaluation, and operations manual. And we are looking at moving into a bigger project. I think the union will soon speak about the project with Jeff, the GF funding. And that will actually tackle the environment. And when the union takes on the environment, you know they are going to transform St. Lucia. And I believe I am happy to be part of that movement.
Okay, I am looking forward to that. I know the SLTU has a long way to go, and I think the SLTU is definitely breaking ground and getting better. Our union, as you say, is evolving, and when things evolve, they get better. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Monroe and Dr. Poyot.
It was a pleasure.
Yes. You made history, our very first episode of SLTU Dialogue. It was a pleasure.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for all the best. Right.
We will be right back after this short break.
At the St. Lucia Teachers Credit Cooperative, we know you're busy and we're always looking for innovative tools to enhance your banking experience. So we're introducing online banking, a service that goes with you wherever you are, and it's absolutely free. All you need is a cell phone or laptop. No more waiting on long lines to check your account balance or to update passbooks. With online banking, it's quick and easy. Just fill out a form, get your username and password, and access your account right away. With online banking, you can check your account balance, transfer funds, view and download your account history, create alerts for your account with emailed reports. One convenient service. Online banking with the St. Lucia Teachers Credit Cooperative. An educated choice.
Thank you for staying tuned to SLTU Dialogue. Teachers Week zonal football games are on. The first match was played on September 21st at the Marshall playing field. The North team and the West team engaged in a heated encounter. By the halftime whistle, Kirby Joseph from the West team had already secured 1 goal while the North team struggled. By the end of the game, Dalius Monroe scored 2 additional goals for the West team, while Canis Moise scored the North team only goal. The game ended with the West team securing their first victory in the competition. The South team also battled the East team at the Dames playing field. The East team dominated the game, scoring 3 goals. The South team was only able to score 1 goal. The SLTU basketball team, led by Captain Nigel Francis, played their first game in the Commercial League basketball tournament on September 1st at the Boseju Indoor Court. The team struggled to match up to their opponents, Peter and Company, and lost by 13 points. Top scorers for SLTU were Kevin Marfren, who scored 18 points and 3 rebounds, and Tristan James, who scored 13 points and 9 rebounds. However, the SLTU boys were able to redeem themselves last Thursday when they edged CSA by 4 points. Leading scorer for SLTU was guest player Simeon Hippolyte, who scored 24 points and 7 rebounds. The SLTU futsal team has made it to the second round of games. Their first game was played against Unicoma on Friday, September 14. They were able to score 5 goals against their opponents who could not bank a single goal. The team is being captained by Dyke Francis. The next game will be played on September 28th at the Boseju Indoor Court. At least 5 times a day, a student calls his teacher mommy or daddy. Thank you for tuning in to SLTU Dialogue. I am your host, Alice Mida. Do have a restful evening. See you next time on SLTU Dialogue.